Wagbat Stubbsy Bricks for another episode of Building Mandalore in Lego. On the 1st of May, I flew back to the UK as I needed to pick my tools up that I left over there last year so I can get on with constructing the new Lego room. As soon as I landed, a friend picked me up from the airport and took me down to the Southampton Lego store, and to my surprise I bumped into Planet Tech and Not That Sam Smith. Nice to finally meet those guys. Never met them in person, only chatted to Tech online on his live chats, and they really are a couple of smashing guys, so it's really nice to meet them. Whilst in the UK, I had a delivery of Like My Bricks, and that's going to enable me to put them in this section here for the prison cells and the elevator shaft. So hopefully I've got enough lights to get this mock completed. And this is a section that I'd ideally like to work on this week. So I'm going to prototype the prison cells, see how they're going to fit in here, and whether or not I'm going to have room for the elevator shaft to the side, or whether I need to move that up to the top. One other thing I've been working out is the height of these two buildings. Are they the same? This one here is, at the moment, is one plate lower than the art plate at the top where the starships are currently resting. So I just need to raise this up by one plate, and then I can do the walkway that's going to go across the top there. And that's going to be quite the challenge because it's quite a big gap, and I don't want it to droop at all, but I want to try and keep it as thin as possible. So again, whether or not I get around to that this week, I'm not sure. It'd be nice to do so, but I think it's going to take quite a bit of working out on the structural side of that. Anyway, that's enough talking. Let's get some bricks out and let's get building. And here is the prototype for the prison cells. There will be some beams going across on both sides there with a little control panel on that side. So this section just here is one cell, then you've got the second, and then there's a third. So I'm only going to be able to go 3 cells wide on there. I've got 42 studs to play with, and it looks like there's 5 studs left over on the end there. I could possibly amend the mock. There's one wall on the left-hand side which I could shrink a little bit. However, I don't know whether or not it's really going to gain that much by doing so. Now that I've worked out how I'm going to be building the prison cells on the front here, I know what slopes and inverted slopes I need. Just need to work out the railing that's going to go on there. And then once I've got that, I can calculate how many floors I'm putting in and order those parts in. And there's going to be yet more changes to the structure of this build here. Nothing massive, but at the moment I've got a 42 stud gap between these two walls here. And the idea is that I'm going to have 3 prison cells in here, which is going to take up 37 studs, I think it is. And it's only going to leave 5 studs there. If I can extend that to about 10 studs, what's going to enable me to do is actually have the elevator shaft at the side of the prison cells. That way I can have the elevator shaft, prison cells, cap it all off up the top section here, and then in this part here I can have yet another storytelling section, which I think would be pretty cool to have. So I'm going to make those amendments. All I need to do is just to destroy this grey wheel on the side here, and the way I've built it, it shouldn't be that big a job, and then just remove those pillars on there, and then we'll be good to go. So let's get those changes made, and then I'll check back in once I've done so. And that's the wall reduced in size by 3 studs. That's all I needed to do. And here is the prototype of the prison cell put in the bottom, and it's enabled me to have 9 studs to the side here, which is going to be perfect for putting in the elevator shaft down there. Now I can build the grey wall that's going to go up along the side of this part just here, and I could possibly do the back wall as well, and then just have some plates coming out of the wall all ready for me to build the prison cells into it once I've got the parts in. So that is something I'm just going to have a look, see what parts I have got, how far through I can get with this, and I think it's going to probably be the best way forward for me to save as much time as possible going forward, so I can just crack on with the build once the parts arrive. And here is the start to the prison cells. I put the back wall on there, and I've put a plate protruding from the wall in each cell. I will be extending the length of the seating area, so it's the whole width of the cell. And what I'll do, I'll just tile over the top of this and then attach another plate to the bottom, so it's the same thickness all the way along. What I'm going to do now is plate off the area around the top here, using some 4x4 plates, and then I'll be able to attach the rest of it afterwards. But this way I can carry on building all the way up for the 3 floors worth of cells. On the end here I've got a doorway that's going to be leading into the elevator shaft, and I'll be doing again one of those on each of the floors. Now with the lights, I'm going to have a light coming out, and it's going to have 1 light per balcony area, and hopefully that'll be enough to light up each section. So let's get the lights out, carry on building up, and see how far we get. And that's the back wall all sorted out for the prison cells. I've decided to go for 4 floors of it. And once I get to this level here and I've plated off the top, I'm then going to extend the grey wall from here, going all the way across until it gets to the walkway there. Now these platforms here, the prison cell is going to be at the back, then go out the front door, and then this stud here, that's where the corridor or the walkway in front of the prison cells will come to. So then I have the barrier going across the front of each of those. As you can see, I've started the doorway on the back there. All I need to do is build the lift shaft up on the end there, but I'm not sure how I'm going to go about building that, so just need to have a little bit of a think. On the top section here, one thing that I was considering doing was putting a black wall behind at the very back of this, up against these pillars here, and then having the beams coming across where Ahsoka has her fight with Darth Maul in the last season of the Clone Wars. So that's just something I'm considering putting in there, just as another added Easter egg to fill a gap where instead of just having a plain grey wall. Here is the picture that I'm going to be using for my inspiration for the elevator shaft, and this was a screenshot taken from the Clone Wars, and this is what I've made so far to go on the back wall. And I'm going to attach it using some snot bricks with a dark bluish grey background. I think this is going to look quite good on there. So let's make the wall up now, attach it on there and see how it comes out. And that's the back of the lift shaft all put into place on a snot brick wall. And on the sides here, I'm not sure what sort of detail I want to have just yet. And I'm also thinking these doorways here, they might need to come forward this way just by probably about 3 or 4 studs, just so the lift shaft looks right. But yeah, really happy with how that's all coming along. And the next thing I'm going to do is finish this wall here. Just got a little bit more to build up on there. I'm then going to put 1 row of plates so it's level with the building on this side, and then I'm going to start prototyping the bridge that's going to go from one building to the other. Want to get a rough idea of how much it's going to sag in the middle, if anything at all, and then that's going to give me something over the next week or so that I can work on strengthening it up and also putting all the details on there to give it the look that I'm after. And here is the technique that I'm using for the bridge. Got Technic beams all the way through which are connected to these Technic bricks. And then I'm putting some more bricks along the side and then plates overlapping the joins. So hopefully that's going to keep it nice and strong. And I'm going for plates on both the top and bottom. Then what I will do eventually is tile on the top side as well. Again, going over all of the joints, and hopefully that'll be sufficient to stop it from flexing too much. But let's carry on plating this all off. And once I've done so, I'll put it on the build and see how it looks. And here is the start of the walkway, and I think it's going to work out perfectly. At the moment, there is literally no sag at all in the middle of that. It's not drooping. So fingers crossed, it's all going to be fine. As I mentioned earlier, once I put the tiles on the top of it, I think that's going to help strengthen it even more. And I might even put some brackets along the side there and put some tiles along the side as well. And then again, because they're going to be going horizontally, I think that's going to help strengthen it up even more. But it's whether or not I've got enough of the brackets to cover both sides of that. But all in all, really happy with the way that's coming out. This section in the centre here is going to have a garden part on there with some seating. As you can see in this image here, that's going to be the inspiration for it. And the bridge will be pushed right to the very back, I think. But yeah, there it is. That's all we've got time for this week. Unfortunately, it has been a bit of a bitty week this week. I've been trying to catch up following my trip to the UK, so I've had very little building time, but I'm happy with what I managed to get done during the time available. And a lot of it has been like this, getting it all prepared, ready for when I get the parts in to do all of the fine details on there and make it look like the finished product. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the update. If you have, please remember to give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content on the channel. And if you know anybody else you think would be interested in building Mandalore or building Gotham, if you share the channel for them, it would be much appreciated. Anyway, thanks for popping on by, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.